Cool. This is Scott. It's my third interview. I'll just explain a little bit about the subject before I get started. Basically, the subject under, you may know, you might not know, is to do with self-identity in adolescence, and how that can change as you go from secondary school to college, and how your friends' taste in music affects yours, and is it a sociological kind of cultural thing, or is it an individual kind of thing? So I'll ask you the question that I ask first of everybody is, what kind of music do you listen to?
I listen to quite a lot. I listen to, obviously, my main genre is my metalcore, my deathcore, my R&B core, that type of stuff, so like screamo crap. But then I also enjoy post-hardcore, which is stuff like Fight Star. You ever heard of Fight Star? Charlie Simpson from Busted.
Oh right,
It was his band.
That sounds like I was listening to. I saw so much of it. It sounded like the end sounded like post rock. It was pretty catchy. It was like it's pretty catchy.
But, so I listened to a bit of post-hardcore, and then I like my really mellow acoustic stuff as well. So Charlie Simpson, I listen to his solo stuff. Ryan O'Shaughnessy, Damien Rice, stuff like that.
Damien Rice. That's very casual. Okay, what kind of music do your friends listen to?
Well, because I have I have a massive friend circle, so my close friends, like people in my band, and then like Matt Seaborn and stuff like that, we all listen to the same music, so it's like metalcore, like heavy stuff, stuff like that. And then I've got a mate Sean who I go to the gym with, he's into old school hip hop, so stuff like Tupac and Biggie and all that. And then I've got my mate Jordan who listens to like drum and bass, dubstep, chart stuff, One Direction. It varies, but not many of them listen to acoustic stuff. So
no. But would you say your sort of closest friends, the friends you relate to the most, would listen to your kind of music?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's cool. So you've got your friends now, and they all listen to the same kind of music. Would you say that's opened up a lot since you've come to school? I'll start with a different question actually. Well, how big of a badge would you say music is now amongst your friends? Like how much of a defining factor would you say it is amongst your friends? Do you guys all subscribe to that culture? Do you not wear the clothes and you haven't not like buy the t-shirt, but like, do you know what I mean? Like, do you subscribe to the culture? Around.
I mean, yeah, we do, because obviously, like, being in a band, and then my close mates being in a band as well, we're in that culture, we're the source of that culture, if that makes sense. So say we're playing a gig at the George, we're not the ones in the audience, we're the ones on stage, we're the ones telling people, circle pit, wall of death and all of that. So we're in the smack bang in the middle of it, but if I go to a gig, I don't get involved, because I just prefer to listen to the music instead of just going and punching someone in the face and stuff like that. But like George and Jordan, say if they go to a gig and I'm with them, they'll go head first into the pit, get straight into it and stuff like that. But I suppose the culture comes with dress sense as well. Like obviously you've got me and Seaborn who listen to the exact same music. We have the same dress sense. With like skinny jeans, beaters, band t-shirts, same clothing companies and stuff like that. But then at the same time, my other Matt Forbes, who's in the Faint and Falling, he's into like he wears chinos, like carrot jeans, tracky jeans, and then stuff like Topman cardigans, really colourful cardigans, stuff like that. I suppose it's just each to their own. I mean, like I think with Matt he enjoys the music and stuff like that, but he doesn't live by it. Whereas people like me and Seaborn, because both being vocalists of a band, we are the main image. Like we're the ones that get focused on, so we have to be the culture, if that makes sense. So, but I wouldn't say I did it just for that. I mean, it's what I feel comfortable in. I mean, some days I wear skinny jeans and t-shirts and a beater, and then some days I just wake up and I'll wear joggers, trackies and stuff like that. So it's just personal preference really. It's what you feel comfortable in. It's like, if that makes any sense.
That does make sense to me, Scott. That's a very interesting answer. I like that answer. At secondary school, this is something that I found quite interesting. I found that, what was your experience with music at secondary school?
Secondary school.
Was everyone listening to sort of chart music, and if you didn't listen to that kind of music, it kind of alienated you a little bit?
Secondary school was a weird one. I mean, year 7, year 8, year 9, year 10. Year 7, year 8, year 9. All I wanted to do was fit in. I just wanted to be liked and stuff like that. So I wasn't myself. I listened to Eminem. I listened to like LL Cool J and fucking Jay-Z and all that shit, just to try and fit in. And then I was wearing joggers like everyone else, buying really expensive Adidas trackies. I had like a £60 pair of Adidas trainers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just to fit in, but I think that's because back then that's when I was really into my sports as well.
Yeah.
So I was playing football a lot, I was playing hockey, I was playing basketball, I was in teams and stuff like that. And then when it came to year 10, I just woke up one morning, I was like, you know what, what's the point? I've been trying for 3 years to try and fit in, and it hasn't worked. And then I met my real friends at school, and then that's when I got into my scene that I'm in now.
So that was a specific scene at your school, like there were a certain group of people that listened.
I went to a sports college, so it was pretty much like Chav Central.
Yeah.
And then I kind of started speaking to other people, like branching out.
Yeah.
And not staying with like the friends group I was in. And I started branching out, started talking to new people. And then I just kind of got into seeing it now. I started growing my hair. I was like, back then I was a scene kid, so it was like proper skin tight jeans. So there'd be no creases.
Yeah.
Like fingerless, bright coloured gloves. I had black and blue hair.
Yeah.
I had a fake lip piercing.
Yeah.
I used to stick all my hair up at the back. I had the fringe, bright pink hoodie, all that crap.
Yeah.
I think that's where I started finding my own identity. So it's weird as well because as soon as I grew a fringe, like girls everywhere, she's like, "Oh, he's got a fringe. Come talk to him." But yeah, that's when I found my music scene, and then I started playing guitar.
Yeah.
And then that's when my music changed. So when I started playing guitar, obviously listening to music before you have an instrument, it's just you like the music, you enjoy it and stuff like that.
Differently.
Whereas when you're a musician, you appreciate different types of music. So I was listening to stuff like AC/DC and all the old school stuff like Led Zeppelin, Queen, blah blah blah. But then I'd go on to stuff like Metallica, Megadeth, and it just gradually got more heavier. And then I think that's where I found my identity as a person and as a musician as well.
Yeah. So it was a very specific group of people that listened to that kind of music, and you all sort of came together as a group, and then a lot of people listened to chart music.
Yeah.
And did you really speak to them, or were you kind of a bit separate from them?
No, I was separate from them straight away. I mean, the only reason I was in with them was because I played football. So I was a sporty person, so I could just go out and play football and then come back in, and then when I stopped playing football when I started playing guitar. So then all I was doing then was sitting in rehearsal rooms practicing. Go away. Sorry. And then obviously all the other musicians, you relate to them, and then they tell you, oh yeah, check out this guitarist, he's in this band.
Yeah.
And you branch out. So I was still talking to them when I was playing football. Yeah. But I had my own group now. It was a group that I was actually involved in, that I didn't have to try to fit in, I just fit it in. So
that's pretty casual. So I'll ask Clara, do you because I've always like everyone else has kind of said the same kind of thing at secondary school. It was kind of quite like music was a very sort of quite a big badge, as it were. Yeah. Like everyone kind of subscribed to it, everyone kind of looked up to the people in the bands and stuff, and it was a very big thing. But as everyone kind of got to college, that sort of transition between college and school, everyone is kind of not a lot of people. Amy said it's definitely died down and it's not as big a thing anymore. She doesn't identify it. She doesn't think it's like as big a thing, a bigger part of her. She doesn't identify with it as much.
Yeah.
Would you say that's the same thing, or would you say
I
that's
think
different?
what it is whenever you come to college, you grow up because you come here and it's completely different. You're treated with respect from the lecturers, so you grow up. But especially coming to music, I reckon it's probably different in the other buildings. Like coming to music, you're all musicians, so you can sit with a group of people you might not necessarily like. So say I'm sat downstairs with Matt Carter. I can appreciate him as a musician because I think he's got an incredible voice. He's like a good rhythm guitarist and all this. But I don't like him as a person. And because it is a music academy, we've all got that same connection. We're all musicians. We all want to reach the same place. So we can respect each other as musicians. Who cares what we listen to?
Yeah.
Because we might play something completely different. Like people will see me with my band, like my metalcore band, and then I'll come here and I'll just sit and jam on acoustic and sing away. And I wouldn't say that's identity. I'd say it's more of a. I think with the acoustic stuff for me, it's more of a personal thing. So with my band, I enjoy my band. I love playing with them. I love writing with them. I love rehearsing with them. I love performing with them. And I do put emotions in my lyrics and stuff like that, but I don't write all the music. Whereas in acoustic, when I do my acoustic stuff, I write the lyrics, I write the music, and I can put so much more emotion in it. And it's just a personal thing for me to get my message out and stuff like that. So we've come into that. I don't think music is a badge, as you say, anymore, because we've all got our own musical identities, but we've all got our own personal identities as well. It's like when we first started here, I didn't like you as a person.
Oh, really?
I've told you that before. But I appreciated you as a musician. Like your voice is so unique, your voice is so awesome. And then I got to know you as a person because I enjoyed your music.
That's charisma.
And then, you get what I mean? Like, it's one of them things. It's like, when I first started, I thought my guitarist Luke was a bit of a weirdo. And then I started writing with him, started getting to know him. Yeah,
music can be a very sort of.
It's a good connection point. It's a good starting point for people to.
It's definitely.
But I think that's where it comes in with college and that, because you grow up and stuff like that. And because we obviously all came here because we all want to reach the same position, we all understand music on the same level. Whereas if we went back to secondary school now as musicians, it'd go back to being exactly the same. Like, you wear skinny jeans, you have a tattoo, you scream in a band, like you're a knobhead, go away type stuff. Whereas in here, I mean, some people appreciate the fact that people can scream because it is quite hard to do.
Yeah, no, definitely. I agree.
So it's like Lara, when I first met Lara, I only knew her as the opera girl that was really hot. That's all I knew her as. I didn't know her name, I didn't know why she was here.
Oh,
go away.
Fuck off.
So yeah, I didn't really know her and stuff like that. And then I started talking to her, and we started doing acoustic stuff more. And her parents were really shocked because she was just the opera girl, like she was classically trained and stuff like that. And I brought Laura out into doing like acoustic stuff, singing popular stuff like that. And people find it really weird that she dresses how she dresses. Like one day she'll be all hippie and all like, ooh, and then the next day she'll be all like pin-up girl and listening to like screaming and stuff like that. People find that really weird, but I think that's good because she can like do what she's trained to do. I mean, she still loves doing it. Like she can go and do the opera and stuff like that. But because she's been doing it since she was 4 and she's been like forced into doing it, I think like the stuff that she does here with me or with the band, like say we rock songs up and stuff like that, it's just a release for her. She enjoys it. So if any of that makes sense.
No, that definitely makes sense. It's quite nice that you talk about Lara because it kind of not corroborates, but like links in with what she was saying. It's quite good to hear. Yes, that was. Do you think your friends feel the same kind of way that everyone's just opened up and everyone's just a bit more free about everything now?
Yeah, I mean, it's because most of my closest mates are in a band. They're in the Fate and Fallen, and obviously we don't say it is, but it's definitely a competition because we're both local bands. We both want to get gigs and stuff like that. But because we're both in bands, we know how hard it is. We don't judge each other by where they dress. It's like Matt will rock up in chinos and we're just like, oh, right, mate. It's not like, why are you wearing chinos? You listen to metalcore. It's not. It's like I say. It's what if he's comfortable in that, then fair enough. I'm not going to judge him for it. I've known him for like 9 years. I've seen him go through many different styles. It's just good to finally see him in something that he's comfortable with. But because we both bands know how hard it is to get into the music industry. We're both starting off bands. It's really hard to get gigs. It's really hard to get audiences and stuff like that. But it's like with the mates that aren't in bands, they can appreciate it because they've seen our struggles. Like they've sat in our rehearsals. They've like seen how hard it is to get songs together and stuff like that. And it's like with like the badges and stuff like that, as long as people enjoy music and they can dress completely different, like so what, they enjoy the music and they enjoy what they're wearing, just accept them for it. And I think that has gradually gotten better because people have started growing up, people have started accepting it for more. I mean, it's like I've got a mate who I go to the gym with called Zach. He's like full on like Hollister or he wears joggings and he's like fucking. He's not chatty. I don't like putting in labels, but you get what I mean. Like, and he listens to like all this. He listens to completely different music to I do, but he comes up to me and says, "Oh, Scott, when's your next gig?" and stuff like that. He's like, "I want to come down, I want to support you and stuff like that." So it is more open with friends because if they get to know you as a person, then they've already accepted you. Yeah. Whereas if they judged you on the music you listen to, then they wouldn't come and talk to you. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I completely agree with you. I think that you know, as sort of friends, everyone can appreciate the different kind of, because you know, music and culture. I think as I was talking to Lara about it, are like combined very strongly. Definitely. Like you can't have one without the other, really. But I think as we've gotten older, like although like you are in a certain sort of, you know, you've got an image, definitely got an image, and definitely, you know, have got a certain culture that you don't subscribe to, but you're a part of.
I'm involved in. Yeah.
But you know, you still hang around with people from other different cultures. I think everyone is sort of coming together more as we're getting older.
Definitely.
And I think it's quite interesting. I'd be quite interested to sort of ask these questions again to people in a few years' time and see where it is now and whether we think, you know, now we were closed off and we couldn't even imagine what we were like exactly school. But yeah, I think that was a very interesting interview, Scott. Thank you very much.